Welcome, it's Karen Chaston. Oh my God, I went live and I haven't even done it. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to Beyond Lost, Loving Life with Karen Chaston. I'm Karen Chaston and I'm so excited to be here with you all. If you haven't noticed, I am now doing 2 30-minute shows a week instead of 1 hour show. So I'll be coming to you at this time, which is 11 a.m. Queensland, obviously noon in Sydney, Melbourne, in the other Eastern Standard States, and for half an hour. So this is really exciting. Please put where you're from in the comments, and then I will get started. So if you haven't gathered by now, I am a Beyond Lost expert, and I love to assist people to move beyond any kind of loss. And loss is not just death. And it's really important for us to understand that. And that's why I do what I do. Hi, Samantha from the Gold Coast. Hi, Renee from Tamworth. Great to see you guys here. So let's get started because, as always, I pick a card before I come on. Hi, Kat from the sunny coast. Great to see you here. So I always pick a card each show from the beautiful cards by Marcia Crinton called Channel Spiritual Guidance Cards. And today I picked number 17, which is called Choices. Yay, we've all got choices. But are we making like great choices? Or are our choices coming back to bite us, a year, 10 years, 20 years? Or in my case, there's one choice I made when I'm 16 and I'm now 64, which is still, if I'd known then what I know now, there is no way I would have made the choice that I made. But that is something for us all to understand. Based on the facts of what we knew at that time, our choice was probably right. In hindsight, when we are a different person, we know more, we understand more, we would have chosen differently. And it's about understanding that about ourselves. So, choices. Let me read this. Choices. Now, card number 17. It's always hard to break down the barriers to move freely forward. You've reached the crossroads and are now able to choose the journey ahead. You are the key to your own future. It is in your hands now. Begin to unlock the doors within where your wishes, desires, and dreams are kept and gather the power that is flowing from your soul to be the guiding light moving forward as you open the door of change. Welcome this change with joy. Take it in both hands and give it life. This is the key to power and it's right there in your hands. Unlock the door, move gently forward and open your heart to absorb all that is available to you. The choice is yours to make. This is an amazing card because it is in our hands and it is about us choosing the door, but also knowing that no matter what door we choose, we have chosen the right door at that time for what we know. And it's always going to lead you to where you're meant to be. Sure, the journey may take a little bit longer, but you're always going to end up where you're meant to be. So let's all embrace choices for today. Whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching it in the replay, know that this card is for you today. So, Kerry, hi, great to see you here. I'm distressed. My best friend has left this state, going to another state. She was my soul sister. I'm trying to do what I was told when I lost a Facebook friend. Okay. I assume that you mean she's physically moving to another state. She hasn't gone on to her next adventure, Kerry. And I'm sure that, everything that happens in our life, as you're aware, is always happens for you, not to you. And that is a concept which I love to embrace. And I know it's not an easy concept, that everything happens for you. And so just clarify, Kerry, if you mean she's just moving physically to another state. And then I'm going to actually suggest that the best thing that you can do is go and grab your journal book and, draw a line down the middle, and on the left side, write down all the pros in having her as your friend, and then all the cons of having her move. And just really start to evaluate, what is good about her moving as well as being your friend, and what is not so ideal about her moving. And then you'll start to realize that everything happens for you. Maybe she's creating a space in your life so that someone else can come in. So someone will always fill that void. And that's a beautiful thing about energy and spaces. There is always someone or something to fill that void. And maybe that's for you to find out today, is for you to deep dive into not only who that possibly could be, or, will it give you more time to do something that you've been putting off for way too long. There's always ways you can deep dive to. Also happy to have a 15-minute chat with you. You know how to get in contact with me. But for everyone else, here's my email address. Please just put in the heading that you saw me on this show, so I can, evaluate where we have connected, and then we can go from there. Karen at karenchaston.com.au. Really easy. Hi, Maria. Great to see you here. Renee, we always live and learn, and we certainly do. Our purpose is within. We are the key. Love it. And you're so right, Renee. You are absolutely spot on. So today what we're going to be talking about, let me bring up my trusty little slides, as I love to do, is where, as always, we are going on a journey. We're living a life's journey of going from love to loss and then back to love. Unfortunately, our lack of loss intelligence, that's a mouthful, loss intelligence, and there is a huge lack of us actually having any intelligence around loss and how we can move beyond any kind of loss, and how we can learn the lessons from the loss, and how we can create our better everyday life. And that's what gets us stuck in that loss scenario, not being able to move forward into love. And that's what I love to do, is I love to assist people on that journey to get back onto the infinity loop of going from love to loss, so that they can more quickly come along the line and back to love and spend most of their time in love. As I've mentioned a couple of times this morning, there are over 40 different loss events that can affect all of our lives. And it's important that we understand this, because a lot of the times we don't even realize that where we are at the moment is actually we're in a loss and a grief-causing situation. And when we understand that, it does make life a whole lot easier for us to go, oh, that's why I'm feeling that way. So let me get up the list and I'll put it onto the big screen so that you can clearly see how many different sorts of losses there are. And there's so many of them. If you'd like, let me know when you look at that list, how many you've had. I've done this before, and I've actually come up to it actually being like someone said, I'm 40 and I've had over 21 different loss events in my life, which is huge when you think about it. And so many people of us really do have so many loss events. So it's great to say, how can we move along quite easily? But what I love to say is that we are going to have a look at the consciousness, the map of consciousness by David R. Hawkins. I might even bring this up to the big screen as well, because I think it's really important for us to understand where we are vibrating at, because the way we vibrate really does make a difference when you actually start to understand the way that where we're at. Now, the higher we vibrate, the better we feel, the more you can clearly see that we're coming into love and joy and peace, fulfillment, and we really are in a great space in our life. But when we are vibrating lower in the fear and the grief and the guilt and the shame, like you look at shame compared to love, That's huge. It's unbelievably how much, it is. I guess, it's, oh my God, it's ridiculous. It's like 25 times more. Um, so yeah, who wants to be living in shame and guilt and fear? And I'm sure that most of us have been in those scenarios throughout our lives, but it's about us understanding how can we vibrate at a higher rate? How can we move from shame to joy? It's not going to be in one leap. There's going to be a whole lot of little things, and we are going to have different things happen in our life, and we go up and down this scale all of the time. But it is about us being aware of where we are, feeling into our bodies and actually saying, what am I feeling? And then naming it, not only naming the location in your body around your chakras and stuff where you're at, but naming the feeling that you're feeling. And sometimes people find it difficult to actually name what they're feeling because it can be a mixture. And it's important for us to realize that our feelings are our friends. So let me say that again. Our feelings are our friends. And I know a lot of you are going to go, crazy, you're crazy, Karen. You are way too crazy. There's no way our feelings are our friends. But of course they are. And the reason that they are is they're guiding you to something that requires healing in your life. And the more that we do that healing, the better, not only do we vibrate, but the higher we vibrate, but the more thing is our life, becomes the better everyday life that we're all seeking. And the beautiful thing is, the higher you vibrate, the more you attract at that level. So if you're living in shame and fear and anger, that's what you're going to attract in your life. Whereas if you are living in acceptance and love and joy, that's what you're going to attract more in your life. And I don't know about you, I certainly want to attract more of love and joy and fulfillment and happiness. And that's what I consciously do. So today we're going to, as I did on Monday. So on Monday we looked at a way that we can start to lift our vibrations. The activities that we can do in our life that will assist us to lift our vibrations. And on Monday we talked about gratitude. And if you didn't watch the episode, I highly recommend that you go back. It's on this Facebook page, or it's also on YouTube channel, and it will be on my website in the next couple of days, the Chaston Centre website. So that's where I'll be posting all of them. And I do have a little bit of catch up to do, but I'll get there. And the beautiful thing is about it is that's what each of my 30-minute shows are going to be about, a different way for us to lift our vibration. So make sure that each week you come in and you actually see what it is. But today what we're going to be talking about is forgiveness. And I know a lot of people really aren't 100% sure about what forgiveness is. But here I am to tell you that forgiveness is a gift that you give to yourself. Okay, most people have got that sort of, what do you mean it's for myself? Everything that you do in life is for yourself, and it assists you to not only to get those feelings about what has happened or what was said to you that you're finding really hard to forgive. It's about releasing it from your body so that you can not only lift your vibration, but you can feel lighter and you're not carrying around that angst or that anger and all those sort of things. But forgiveness is always another name for freedom. You are so much more freer when you actually release and forgive whatever it is that has happened or has been done or said to you. And remember, nothing is done to you, it's done for you. So it is about doing the deep dive in to see the benefits of what is happening. Forgiveness is letting go of the pains of the past. Why drag them along with you? Why not release them and forgive them? Because it does opens the door to a better future. And that's what it's about. I always love Oprah's little saying about forgiveness, which is, if you're finding it hard to forgive, it's like you are drinking poison, expecting the other person to die. That's what it is. So you're carrying around these things that you're finding really hard to forgive. And the silly thing about it is that the other person, it probably isn't even aware that you are actually carrying that around. They're living their lives and they're off, and you're still stuck in that thing. So that's why it's really important for you to understand ways that you can forgive and deep dive into your feelings. So that's what I'd like to talk about today. So, what are your thoughts on forgiveness? Is there something in your life that you are finding hard to forgive? Is it, and let's, type it in and let me know, and let's see how that we can assist you to look at it from a different perspective, because the releasing it from your body is like releasing a disease from your body, because we're designed to live our life in ease. And if we're not living our life in ease, we are living with dis-ease. And the disease that we're carrying around emotionally festers into physical disease. And that's why, if for no other reason, it's about lifting your vibrations to make yourself healthy and energetic and amazing. So, is there anyone who'd like to, say anything about the forgiveness that they're carrying around, that they're finding really, really hard to release? There's so many things in our life that happen to us. And through doing that deep dive, it's amazing how you can share to a few friends and sisters. Oh, thank you, Sandra. I really appreciate that. And Maria, thank you for the infinity sign saying you like it. It is a great little sign. I love all of my little gadget things that I bring up, and I have an amazing, obviously, marketing guy who helps me create all of these little things. But yeah, and infinity is thing. So shared to it. Thank you for that. After the loss of my husband 12 years ago, Samantha, my condolences in the loss of your husband. And is it the forgiveness of him passing, or is it the forgiveness that you are finding hard to give over things that happened before he passed? Mine has been Maria, but I feel I've started forgiving. Mine has been at God. Interesting. Now, for anyone watching this, I just want to clarify. God is a name that may cause a few people some angst, but always just think of God as a higher being, our creator, the universe, whatever you want to call it, is itself. I have no problem with God. I did for a while, though, which is really interesting. And the reason it was because I was brought up Catholic. So my thing at God was sin. So let's go into that, Maria, and thank you. It's really interesting that, you are finding it not so easy to forgive God. So God does everything for you. Like you are, and this may be a perspective that you would like to take on or not. We create our own life before we come down here. It's like we're in a movie and we're the main actor, and we decide on who we're going to hang out with, what we're going to do, what we're going to look like, all the things we're going to do. And it's a really, really interesting scenario when you actually start to go, wow, I created all of this. Why did I create this? What's my reason? And that's when you start to do the deep dive in. And it also goes on to what Samantha is saying. She's finding it hard to forgive herself. And that's, the start is always with yourself. I've always remembered this beautiful saying that if you feel there is something missing in your life, maybe it's you. So let's think about that for a second. If you feel there is something missing in your life, maybe that something is you. So if you're finding it hard to forgive yourself, right, or God, our creator, and you're actually, God lives in all of us. We are our creator. We create our lives through our beliefs, through our choices, and isn't it funny that I actually came up with the card this morning? I don't come up with these cards. I come up with the theme for the day, but I choose this before I come on and choices came up. So I always find it really interesting. But we do create our lives. So if we have things in our past that we are finding it hard to forgive, or we're looking at God and blaming God for it, there is, that's where the deep dive starts. And that's where it really is about you deep diving in and coming to the crux of it and finding out exactly what it is that you're finding it really hard to forgive. And then you probably haven't done the deep dive enough to find the lessons in whatever happens. As I said, everything happens for you, and there's always a lesson. People who have been here, on this journey with me now for well over a year, you will know that I lost my son over 10 years ago, and my programs are called The Gift of Loss. And most people go, Karen, you lost your son. How can you say there was a gift in that? And the gift is not in me losing Dan, even though Dan is here in every single way apart from the physical. He is the one who has guided me to become the person who I am today. I'm a completely different person to who I am 10 years ago, or who I was 10 years ago when Dan passed. And that's the gift. The gift is in who you become. And the gift is always in whatever has happened in the past, is you finding that gift. And then you making the choice and gaining the clarity so that you can move forward. And that's what I love to assist people to do, which is always really amazing. So I am obviously conscious of the time. Samantha, I've been looking for me very intently for years. Not sure where I lost her, but I really miss her. Do you know what? We all lose me. And it's, I just got shivers. So thank you for writing that, Sandra. I'm so glad that you wrote that. Thank you. Because we all have lost me at some stage in our lives. We come into this world with all the love and the knowing and all of the gratitude and just the process of us living in this density. And earth is very dense, and at the moment probably even a little bit more so than it was, say, 5 years ago. But the thing is, it's through the process of growing up, through the process of don't do that, don't act like that, don't be this, all these sort of things. We slowly lose a little bit of us. And then we get a job, and the job is, oh no, you can't be that. You've got to do it this way and do it that way, and don't dress like that, or don't say that, and all those sort of things. So a little bit more gets chipped away of us and chipped away of us. And then before we know it, we don't even know who we are. We look in the mirror and we go, who are you? And that's what I was like in my corporate life before Dan passed, and even after Dan passed for 15 months. And then thankfully I had a choice to make, whether to go with the new company or to choose redundancy. And thank God I chose redundancy. And because that's when I started to go, who am I? I started to realize that there was something missing in my life, and that something was me. And that's why I love what I do. And thank you, Jess, for saying that. So let's continue on, because I really am conscious of the time. Like, these 30-minute shows are good, but I'm so used to an hour. But the good thing about it is I come twice a week now to share these different ways that we can move on. So here is a great little mantra, and I'm going to suggest that you take a photo of this so that you can actually use this in your forgiveness. Just do this little mantra. And it's funny that you brought up God, and then we're going to put it into God's hands. So as you give the forgiveness mantra, send your love and forgiveness to all whom you have ever wronged and all who you have ever wronged you, releasing the situation into God's hand. This will assist you to also forgive God, because you're giving it back to him with gratitude and thanks. I am forgiveness acting here, casting out all doubt and fear, setting men forever free with wings of cosmic victory. I am calling in full power for forgiveness every hour. To all life in every place, I flood forth forgiving grace. Now take a photo of that. Here, I'll put it on full screen so you don't have me in the photo. Let me just, I want to go back. Hold on, let me go back. Let me go back. I've got to go back. Let me just go back to the previous. And then I'll just take a photo now. So you've just got the actual forgiveness mantra so that you can actually see it, and that'll be totally amazing. Now, what I'd like to share with you is my Revitalize Your Life program, which is absolutely amazing. And this is the most ideal program for you to actually find you. It really does assist you to come back to you. It's a 45-day program where you can, each day you get a new activity, and over the 45 days, over the 6 weeks, you actually start to find you. You will gain the clarity, the joy, and the fulfillment to actually come back to you. And this is what I love. And thank you, Kerry, for saying this is a great course, because it truly does assist you to come back to who you are. Here is the link, and I'll just type that also into the comments. I highly suggest that you actually reach out and do this program. It's $45, not $45 a day. It's $1 a day, and it truly does assist you to not only find you. And the beautiful thing is that for this month, I am giving away one of my gratitude journals. Let me just go back to the slide. So this is the Earth Gratitude Journal. But as you can see, I have the Elements Collection gratitude journals. So I have fire and water and earth and air. You get to choose one of these. Now, these normally retail for $36, and with postage, they're about $48. So for this month only, the month of October, I am gifting one of my gratitude journals for everyone who registers into the Revitalize Your Life program. Because it truly does, gratitude and forgiveness and all of these amazing things that we will talk about over the 45 days really do assist you to become your own best friend. And isn't that what life's about? Us actually going on that journey, so we actually do go from love to gratitude along the infinity line back to who we are. So that is that's it. Is there any more questions? Because I really do love being able to gift people with these gratitude journals, because it really does make a difference. Now, I started my gratitude practice when probably about a year, 15 months, into 2 years after Dan passed. And I had a beautiful gratitude journal, and it had beautiful cover, but it was blank on the inside, and I liked it. But then I was like, I wanted more. And that's why I created these gratitude journals. As you can see, they have a beautiful photos inside. I've taken all the photos except for the fire one. I didn't think I should take 99 fire photos. They might think I was an arsonist. But all of the photos have been taken. Each day there's a chakra color. And in the front, I get you to tune into your chakra each day. That, so over 7 days, you have tuned into all 7 chakras. Then there's a beautiful, unique photo relating to whatever element, and a unique gratitude saying. And then you write over here each day, your 3, 5 things that you can actually do. So, hi, Karen. Nice to see you here. So that's what I highly recommend. You actually deep dive into the Revitalize Your Life program, and you will get, for this month only, 1 free gratitude journal. You get to choose when you register. The link is here in front of you. And also, hopefully you took the photo of the forgiveness. So start your forgiveness practice today. If any of you would like to chat for 15 minutes, I've put my email in the comments. Reach out, just put at the top of it who you are, where you met me, and more than happy to assist you. If you are finding it hard to, come to gratitude and forgiveness and love over anything that's happened in your life, more than happy to assist you in that, but it will be a 15-minute call. All I ask is that you actually show up whenever we book the time. Nothing's worse than waiting around, and to be quite honest, I won't wait very long anyway. So if you do, it's time up, you've got a minute. That's all, because I've got so much to do. So that's it for today, Thursday the 14th. I'll see you back here on Monday, where we will be deep diving into another way, another process that will assist you to raise your vibration so that you can move beyond any kind of loss in your life, and that you can create a more meaningful, memorable, and magical life. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you all next week. Have an amazing weekend. Bye.